So every year, for no particular reason at all, my friends and I challenge ourselves to marathon all of the Oscars Best Picture nominees. And this year, since I finally have this channel, I figured why not record our post Oscars debrief? Our qualifications? Honestly, we just love watching movies. Hi, friends!
Hi, from the Philippines.
Okay. At this point, I think it's safe to start with the Best Picture winner, Anora. Anora follows the story of a sex worker named Anora who gets entangled in a whirlwind romance with the son of a Russian billionaire. My first question is, were we surprised?
I wasn't surprised. Actually, I was rooting for it during the ceremony. A factor was the win at the Cannes. That makes it like a sure win, like Parasite.
Because we were watching the ceremony, nung dun madami na yung awards ni Sean Baker, I was kind of expecting it na. I liked Anora, but I didn't think it would win Best Picture. What did we like about Anora? Like performance wise, directing, writing, what struck you the most?
I like its concept of being a romantic comedy at its core, pero it has elements of action, of suspense, tas
Mhm.
may mystery din. I'm pertaining to yung partner ni Anora. I forgot his name. How
Vladimir.
flawed.
Joke.
Yun, tama. Yun to yun.
No, no, joke lang.
It's a romantic comedy at its very core, but the characters are flawed and make you question their motives. What I like about it also was how it was written, showing not only the realities of the sex worker industry, but also yung internal conflict of being a sex worker and being caught up in the middle of this shit show. Na all she wants lang naman at the end of the day is to have money,
No,
alleviate herself
it's
from
not. It's
poverty.
it's not just about money. It's about,
Talaga.
yeah. To me, parang it's more of having like someone. It's not.
Ah,
It's more. It's more
yes,
than
yes,
money. So
yes.
I think that's the thing I like about this film. You would think na it's the usual plot na okay, she needs to like marry for the money and all that, but to me, I would say this is more character driven. It actually surprised me because I thought it was gonna be so heavy and maybe like stereotypical. I think ganun yung expectations ko. And I realized it's more, yun nga, you mentioned it's about the character journey, the character development ni Anora. And then it just made me realize na, yeah, it's not about the money. I don't think it's about that. It's about her being guarded because of her job. She deals with like a lot of men. Then she finds this like one guy and she thought it was true love. But then this boy is a pussy.
Especially yung ending din. One of the bodyguards was trying to, I'm not sure if yun yung intention ni nung bodyguard, but Anora found another person to cling to.
Exactly. But then at the end, you're left thinking parang, is he there for like her because he really cares for her? Kasi from the get-go, nandun na siya sa background, di ba? But we don't know. Parang ano ba? Ano bang habol niya sa kanya? Sex lang din ba? That's why the ending was so powerful kasi it's very thought-provoking. Kasi parang after like, after the hihihaha of the whole debacle lang, di ba? Parang isipin mo at face value, mukha siyang comedy. I think yun yung kinagulat ko rin because I was like laughing throughout. I'm like, what the heck am I
Yeah.
watching? And then at the end, parang there's that sadness. Na how can she fully like surrender to, you know, love? So I would
Yeah.
say it's more about love. It's not about her desire for money, I guess. I mean, at face value, nandun siya. Pero like deep sa character niya, I really feel like she's just looking for, yung katuwang. Pero at the end, she was still second guessing. That's how I interpreted the movie. So ending was really nice kasi I like thought provoking films. I guess in the lineup lang, hindi ko lang siya expect to be like the best picture for the year. But I really liked it. Did Anora deserve best picture?
Yes. It's a yes for me.
Mm. we move on to the rest of the list, let's start with the Brutalist, friends. You want to say like a one sentence summary since I know this is one of your faves?
If it's a fiction kasi, fictional biopic
Mm.
that showcases the art of brutalism in modern architecture within the context of post-war diaspora, exploring racism, class struggles, and medyo torn ako if it also includes capitalism, but I think it's more of like the oligarchy, aristocracy versus the labor.
Quick shout out lang sa visuals. It was visually appealing to me like the entire time. And I don't even know a thing or two about architecture. And I can't explain why, but I feel like it was a feast for my eyes. So
Question,
you
question,
Mhm.
question lang. How is it visually appealing to you when brutalist architecture is grounded in cement, and in throughout the film you would see cement
Yeah,
and
exactly.
clean lines, minimalist
Yes.
design.
Yes, I think it's the angles. Siguro may camera work na rin na like included dito sa when I say it's a feast for my eyes. Kasi you're right, Brutalist, parang yung tinignan ko yung, di ba may mga photos in the end na pinakita yung work ni Laszlo. And I'm like, ano siya? Mukha lang mga ataol. Oh my God, yun talaga yung thoughts ko. When they were building the structure, you would see the progress eh. Like they had to dig like super deep. Alam mo yun? Tapos parang, hindi ko, I think it's the camera work din. Kasi you see like the nice angles, yung pagtama ng ilaw. I think yung pinaka-favorite scene ko was the first reveal of the library. I was so enamored by the scene. I was like, wow. Wow, like I want to read my book there. Ganong level. I didn't know that architecture can make you feel that way. And I wasn't even in the structure. As someone very knowledgeable about art and architecture, how did you find this movie? I'm pretty sure you liked a lot.
If you remember, the opening shows us Adrian Brody. Parang siya nasa womb. That's how would I describe it. But he was in a ship full of migrants, and then coming out, yung camera follows from on top of him. Tapos it follows him getting out of that darkness, and then outside we see the Statue of Liberty upside down, and that summarizes the film of how twisted America is after he set foot on it. Parang parang we would it's ano eh, it's an anti perspective of the American dream. People would want to be in America, hope for a better future, freedom, but all of these halos unti-unting nawala sa kanya, sa character ni Adrian Brody throughout the film. Opening pa lang, sold.
So, very baffling lang talaga yung ending for me. I had a friend who asked after ko mapanood yung Brutalist and then after the Oscar ceremony, do you think Anora deserved it or like would you rather see the Brutalist win Best Picture? Neither are my Best Picture picks, to be honest. But when I was thinking about it, kasi ako, I'm the type of viewer or like anyone who consumes stories na ang laki ng impact ng ending. So I was thinking about the ending of Anora and the ending of The Brutalist. And while I like that both are thought provoking, I think I prefer Anora. The way it made me think about things. Kasi
Made you
itong
think, made you think, and also explored those thoughts. I
yeah.
think tayo ng critic about it. For me, it was too visual, The Brutalist. It was too visual. And I mean, gets ko naman yun, di ba, yung show, don't tell. However, kasi ang daming scenes sa The Brutalist that are left to our assumption and to our imagination. I think there is a limit to the concept of show, don't tell.
So I guess yun lang yung factors na we did not like about it, right? The rest, feast for the eyes, worth your time, worth your money. Kasi ang tagal niya and fair. Conclave, which is my personal favorite. Like, unahan na
Mm.
kita. This was my bet talaga. And I'm not saying this because I'm Catholic. I really loved the drama. And I didn't expect it to be so engrossing. So Conclave follows the group of cardinals who are voting for the next pope. You would think that it's a very simple synopsis, but there's like lots of layers of politics and important themes, I would say, in real life that the movie tackled. It's so liberal because it touched on
Mm.
many
Ah,
topics that you won't
yes.
necessarily associate with Catholicism.
Actually, from the get-go, the film established already its position in terms of issues concerning the church. So meron na agad bias yung perspective niya.
Nakakatawa kasi they're just all yapping the entire movie. They were all just yapping, but sobrang juicy niya na parang, I don't know, maybe because I like tea, na parang feeling ko I'm in on it also. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, you're right. Si Cardinal ganyan, dapat hindi siya ma-vote. Alam mo yun, sobrang immersive niya for me. Maybe because it showed a perspective of something that we don't normally see. Because when the Pope dies in real life, and then they talk about who to elect as the next Pope, right?
Yeah.
We don't see the inside. We only see the
Yeah, we
white
don't.
smoke when it's done.
Yes.
But we
And
don't see the inside.
not just that, not just that, but even yung pinakita nila sa film, like yung breaking ng ring,
Mm,
yung sisil yung chamber, hindi natin nakikita yun. Hindi natin, wala tayong photos of those. So I'm not
yes.
sure how accurate also the
Yes,
film
exactly.
was.
Yeah. I'm not sure how accurate it is also because I don't think the Vatican has ever spoken about it. So I don't think we'll ever know. But I think it's the fact now we're given a sneak peek of what could be happening inside. So in a way, if you think about it, it's like a fanfic of the Catholic Church.
It is, it is.
Then the visuals. It was so atmospheric. It's just a complete package for me. So feeling ko talaga nandun ako. Feeling ko si sister din ako na nakikian. Na nakiki.
Akala ko boboto ka rin eh.
Oo, parang hindi, parang fly on the wall lang. Pero ano, naghahanda ka ng food, ganyan. Feeling ko nandun din ako. So, I think that's what made me really love this film. Kasi it felt so real.
I think it proves my point earlier na may limits yung show don't tell. I think for Conclave, marami siyang shino, pero marami rin siyang in-explore verbally. As in, marami siyang maganda yung linyahan talaga. And nakita natin how the characters were very complex through those lines and dialogues. I think it's something that you would want to watch over and over again just to see more details.
I agree.
Kahit sabihin na natin it's a fictitious take on how the College of Cardinals would deal the situation of a pope dying. But it's maganda nga siyang fanfic.
Diba? It's a glorified fanfic of the Catholic Church. And I'm here for it. Biased Catholics, Chos.
Let us correct that. Bias, progressive Catholics. Ayaw natin sa fundamentalist na mga
Oo,
titos and
yes,
titas.
yes, yeah. For
Titos
sure.
and titas talaga.
Moving on.
Tanungin na lang kita dito kasi
As,
honestly ito, hindi ko to napanood. Ito lang kahit sa isang film na hindi ko to napanood for
okay.
among the nominees. So
Okay.
I'm still here. Kumusta naman yung it's based on actual events, right?
Mhm. It is based on actual events, and I don't want to sound stupid, but I only realized it after watching the film. Kasi I thought it was like a fictitious account. Since coming from Conclave, from the Brutalist, akala ko like,
Pancake na naman.
oo, so akala ko ganun. Then apparently, yung ending, yung pinakita yung, sabi ko, oh my God, sabi ko, it's a real story. I'm Still Here follows the story of Eunice Paiva. I'm sorry if I'm butchering her name. after her husband was taken away from their home. Context, this is in the 70s in Brazil. Brazil was under authoritarian rule during that time, and Eunice's husband was a former congressman. So one day, someone just came into their home, like a group of men just came in, took her husband. Tapos, yun na. From the day he disappeared, we follow Eunice's journey. They have 5 children. So, naiwan siya.
Being a politically charged film, how did that affect you watching it?
It felt eerily cathartic as a Filipino watching it because
Mm,
hindi siya nalalayo sa nangyari sa atin, which
mm,
was martial law. Also in the 70s, was it? Or 80s?
yes,
Yeah,
70,
70s, 80s, right?
1972.
So, I mean, I wasn't alive yet because the boomers out there might say, hindi nyo naman alam nangyari. Hello, it was in history books, okay? And it just felt eerily cathartic because I think this film, it's more than your usual documentary saying, okay, ito yung authoritarian rule, this is what happened. No, we follow yung naiwan. We follow the wife of the one who was abducted. I would use the word abducted because he was forced out of his home. I think it's powerful because you see it from the lens of the wife of the mom who is taking care of the 5 children. The entire time I was only thinking, grabe, I cannot be a mother because I cannot deal with this. Like this woman is so strong because ang babata ng mga anak, she can't tell them where the dad is. She has to assure them that oh, he's coming back soon. Alam mo yun, kahit like deep down, you don't even know when he's coming back. I like this movie because yun nga, it was focused on the journey of Eunice the entire time. And it's her as a mom, not even like a political figure, but then she was becoming that political figure because
I see.
after the whole ordeal, she studied law at I think 40s na yata siya or something, and then she fought for human rights
Mhm.
until after mangyaring lahat ng to. Yun. So parang in a way it's like you as a viewer seeing her becoming that particular icon then in Brazil. So I feel like it's a
Mhm.
really important film.
Well, Brazil deserves its first win as international film category.
Actually, I wouldn't be mad if they won the Best Picture award then.
Mhm.
I really feel like this is an important film and more cinemas should screen this, especially right now, like with what's happening in the world. Maraming injustices pa rin. Like we don't live in a perfect world in society, but we can still like stand up for what's right. I freaking love it. I love the film. From one politically charged film to another, Nickel Boys. Would you say? What is Nickel Boys all about, friends?
Based on the novel of the same name, it follows two African American boys in a reform school. Pero when you think about it, it's not really reforms. It's more like a prison or something. Because it was notorious for its abusive treatments.
I went in blind. I didn't know anything about this. And I think the number one thing that I want to say is the perspective. I think it
Yeah,
was very innovative.
I think it was brave for the director to go that route na very intrusive yung yung perspective.
I don't know if it worked for me because it was the whole thing. Akala ko sa intro lang. But I was so shocked na throughout the film, ganun siya. Like, from the
Yeah.
perspective of both of the boys. Na parang nagpapalit-palit whoever is speaking or whichever story we're following. And then,
Yes. Sometimes it's the mom.
yes, sometimes it's the mom. And then, I had a note to say, I feel like I'm watching one of those films in museums where it's all snippets and you don't get what's happening. And then I said I felt dumb.
Ako naman,
Yes.
it felt like being in an immersive video game. However, yung intention na yun, being up close to the characters, kinda made the emotions for me parang more technical. Hindi niya na-achieve yung, kung gusto niya is for us to be in the shoes of these characters. Parang nagmukhang awkward for me being up close to them. Parang ang claustrophobic. So hindi ako actually, although I like the storytelling, hindi ako nag-empathize as much as I did dun sa The Brutalist and sa Conclave.
Mm.
Parang here, I'm really watching an art film. Parang ganun
Yes,
yung
yes.
pakiramdam.
Yeah, I agree. I like that you point out empathy kasi nahirapan din ako dun. I think because I was super distracted with the perspective and all the shots that were being given to me na parang nawala na yung humanness for me.
Because it's a novel. I think it's better to read the
Read.
book. I think
I feel like while the effort, the innovation was very much welcome, but then nawala yung attention. Maybe it's a me thing
mhm,
din. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe it's a me thing. Pero parang, yun nga, na-overshadow niya yung actual story for
Mm,
me. So it wasn't enough by the end. It wasn't enough for me to feel for Elwood in particular.
yeah. But you know what? I think I would want to see the film again just to
Mm.
understand the intention of the director. If you've seen a behind the scene clip of it, they wear the camera. Yung
Oh,
actor, hindi siya
okay.
cameraman na nagka-camera. It's the
Oh,
actor wearing it. So, kaya maririnig mo yung dialogue over the, ano.
oh, okay. Wow,
So,
interesting.
yun. Kaya parang gusto ko siya panoorin ulit just to check if would I feel the
The,
character is feeling, or will I just watch whoever is in front of him or her?
we move on to the last of the strong contenders, The Substance, which is a body horror starring Demi Moore, who plays a has been celebrity who's trying to still appear and look young. Then she comes across this substance.
Disclaimer lang. I'm really not a fan of gory films. Like,
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen Saw. Basta pagka ganyan, body horror, grotesque. No.
It's a skip. But
but,
so
but, but this one, I like the critique. The critique of it sa society. The standards of beauty, ageism, entertainment industry as well. It indirectly but effectively tackled those issues. Ganda nung balance niya of visual storytelling. Tagal na rin naman kasi yung mga issues na yan. We see those themes explored in films. Pinag-uusapan din siya sa mga TED Talk and other stuff. But here we see a film that seems like independently made, no? Very low budget and ano lang siya. Pero parang talagang na-digest niya yung yung themes. Hindi lang superficial yung pagtackle dun sa film, sa themes, but also talagang kita natin how it affects the psychology of a person.
I read it as like an inner demon kind of thing. Like how your inner demon can ruin you. I watched it after watching Sunset Boulevard, the
Mm, mm,
musical. So
mm.
it kind of touches on the same subject. And I don't know, I think it's a me thing, but I really love watching stuff like that.
Yung mga nalaos. Ganun.
What a fever dream. That is my one liner review of this. It was a fever dream.
Intrusive question. Magte-take ka ba ng substance?
What? My God. Wait, I have a note in my notes. I said, oh my God, the stabilizer's needle is huge. It's not worth it, girl. That was literally my note. It's not worth it. You see how thick the needle was? Oh my
Pang
God.
spine kasi.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the hassle of the switch. Like you have to switch with the body. Oh my god. Nor,
Siguro if you're
nor,
not,
thank you.
siguro ako naman, siguro if I'm not living alone, and I have someone to do it for me. If supervised, if following the rules to the T, I would.
Oh my
I would use the
god.
substance.
This is proof of your artista complex. I love it. It's captured.
Me, takot ako tumanda. Gusto ko tumanda, but ayoko tumanda.
But not physically. What the heck? Oh my god. So you're willing to be Karamiya?
Unless supervised. Again, unless supervised.
If you're gonna watch this film, just prepare. It's
Yeah.
very good, but
Huwag kayong kumain bago manood dito.
we move on to the middle of the pack. I say that they're in the middle of the pack because they are series.
Dune Part 2 tells us about the journey, a hero's journey ni Muad Adib. Sa Part 1, di ba, in exile yung House Atreides. So here we see yung discovery niya doon sa prophecy sa kanya na siya ay yung Muad Adib and claim niya yun at the very end. So I think it's this
Which is
film.
which is like a messiah, right?
Yes,
Mm.
yes. So I think this film was not just. It has many layers. It can be read as a political film. It can be read as a hero's journey. Pero ako, complex kasi yung character ni Paul Atreides. Honestly, I don't think he's the Moana Deep. Wala akong binabasa na na any books or beyond dun sa napanood ko lang sa films. Ako lang, I think the prophecy was wrong.
Pero he wasn't convinced din, di ba?
Yeah, parang conflicted din kasi siya kung ano niya ba, but kung tatanggapin niya. But the people were clamoring for it. Basically, this film tells us about fanaticism
I
of the
was gonna
people.
say, yeah. Yeah, you took it out of my mouth. It's about fanaticism.
Parang
Yeah.
may kilala tayong ganyan.
Yes. Yes, I can say it's very timely. I've seen the first Dune movie like years ago. I think it was pandemic. Then watching part two, in my head, I was like, I should have watched Dune part one. Kasi ang dami ko na nalimutan. I was like, who is this boy? Shortcoming din siya on my end. But suffice to say, I
Hindi
still
rin eh.
enjoyed it though. I still enjoyed it like as a standalone kahit hindi ko maalala yung part 1. Medyo mahirap to get into this series. Yung care ko for the characters, it's not as deep as say the other like big sagas like Star Wars, for example. I
Frodo.
think but I think Star Wars is closer to this kung
Yes,
magko-compare
yes,
tayo.
yes,
I
yes.
think Star Wars is more
Yes.
appropriate to use kasi parang ano rin
Yes.
siya, galaxy, and then maraming planets, and then they're trying to take over like another planet, mga ganon. So
Family story din.
yes, family. Tapos parang a little Game of Thrones maybe ganyan. Pero parang I don't know why yung care ko for the characters is not that deep. Story-wise parang sige, tingnan natin kung like yung next movie maganda pa
I
rin.
think that's the problem. That's the problem of films like these. Yung saga na yung epic talaga, yung ang daming characters, ang daming nangyayari, ang daming conflicts, ang daming plots. So I guess it's a valid yung point mo. I think it should have been watched parang immediately after yung Dune 2. Parang dapat pinanood mo muna yung Dune 1, then you watch the Dune 2. So talagang you devote the time to it. Or at least have a strong understanding of what happens, not just sa plot, but yung characters mismo, kasi each of them has their own um motives. May mga times na it just becomes a big cinematography film. Yung alam mo
Yes,
yun, yung parang
correct.
ang ganda
Yeah.
nung desert and everything,
Yes.
ganyan, ganyan.
I
But
agree.
ano nga ulit nangyari? Search ka,
Yes,
manonood, nag-search ka. Ano nga yung balak nilang
correct.
gawin dito? Ba't sila nandito sa location na to?
Yes,
It makes
correct.
you easily forget. It makes you easily
Mm.
forget.
From one expensive series to another, we move on to Wicked. Okay, who does not know Wicked? Especially with this movie out. Kung dati, like, magigets ko, hindi pa alam ng lahat. But this is like the blockbuster of the year, I would say. Wicked is wicked. I don't think we need to say the description other than it's a fanfic of The Wizard of Oz. I did not expect it to be nominated for the Oscars. I think that's a hot take because it's very masa. It's not like I'm saying hindi ako natuwa na it got the Oscars nod. The performances, yes, parang gets ko, but maybe because I already know the story. So it's just like reliving what I've seen like 10 years ago on stage. But I have to say, I prefer the movie more than the musical.
Parang nabura yung ano no, yung memories natin nung watching the musical
Yes.
because of this film kasi ang dami nilang inareglo, the
Yes.
songs were
Yes.
rearranged, the production design was really different, everything was tactile. Siguro kasi limitations din of theater. Here we see yung professor as really a goat. ano. Kasi 'di ba, yun dun sa ano, hindi naman siya gano'n. Ano,
True.
I mean, parang half human pa nga yung ano. But here talaga in-established yung conflict na before they used to
Uh-huh.
talk, yung mga
True.
animals.
That's
So I
true.
think there's
Mm.
also a development in terms of the story as well.
The whole production itself, as in the dance, the choreo, then they sang
Ganda.
live, right? Yeah. Parang ang ganda
Ganda.
talaga. I remember nung tinitease to, sabi ko, even may part 1, part 2.
Hinati pa.
Oh, hinati ba? Bakit ganun? And then you watch the film and then you get why hinati. Kasi the ending, very faithful siya in a way na it ended like Act 1 the same way as the musical ends Act 1. It's really that Elphaba scene na talagang nagpasikat sa Wicked, I would say. It's just very iconic. And parang you would think enough na yung pag-levitate ni Elphaba for defying gravity. But no, they added more. They added like
Yes.
depth to it. And then you would think mag-end na siya dun sa last na yung last note. 'Di ba kasi yung musical it ends there tapos parang fade to black. Tapos ano, 'di ba, parang intermission. Akala ko mag-end yung movie that way. But I like na
Mhm.
in-extend siya ng konti na parang nakita natin na talagang Elphaba is really like roaming, going against the authority. Nagustuhan ko siya. Kasi parang, I think he did that. I mean, my interpretation lang. He did that na parang, as in, may continuation siya kasi talaga. And at least hindi siya abrupt. Kasi it's 1 year. You wait for 1 year for the next act. So this is the longest intermission that we're having for this weekend.
For the 1 year long
1 year.
intermission.
Like this is the longest intermission ever. So I can appreciate John M. Chu doing that like seamless letting go of your hand. Hindi siya yung parang, yun na yun.
Yung take ko din on how they interpreted the characters, mas may depth din talaga. I mean, no offense to all those Broadway actors na gumanap as Glinda and Elphaba, but Ariana and Cynthia really added depth into their characters, not just through storytelling, but also how they are affected by everything that's happening around them. For
Mhm.
example, we would see Ariana looking at Madame Morrible. Hindi natin nakikita yun eh, na parang,
Mm.
yun, may dreams din siya for herself.
Mm.
Hindi lang siya yung kontrabidang
Hindi
gustong
lang siya
maging
bimbo.
popular. Oo. Hindi siya ganon. Like,
True, true,
meron
true.
siyang goals in life.
Yeah,
Ganon.
actually, true,
So, may
true.
mga ganong depth, like, yung mga nuances na hindi natin nakikita before. The film medium allowed us to see those little details. Ariana or Cynthia?
Mas na-enjoy ko si Ariana. I think because si Cynthia, we all know that she's an established actor na
Mm,
talaga. Pero si Ariana kasi we know her as the pop star.
yes.
Yeah, so yeah, I would say Ariana is the revelation here. I feel so bad na Zoe Saldana won over her. Which we will talk about in a while. Obviously, this was a
So,
defying gravity over 5 for me.
basta gusto ko siya panoorin ulit. Pasok na siya sa ano ko. Pasok na siya sa Christmas specials ko palagi. Yung Harry
Same!
Potter,
Oh
Lord
my
of the
god!
Rings.
Same.
Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Weekend 1, 2.
So we move on to the last segment, aka why was this movie nominated? From one brilliant movie musical to a complete unknown.
and the
Honestly,
name speaks for itself. Ever since I heard a biopic about Bob Dylan was being created, gusto ko na siya mapanood. Tapos si Timothy pa yung gaganap. Pero watching the film wasn't really that enjoyable eh. Ang dami niyang gustong patunayan. That's my opinion.
I'm not a fan, so I think factor yun. Kaya bakit wala siyang impact for me? I gave it a chance. So, noon pa ako, sabi ko, okay, baka naman, very becoming yung life niya, ganyan, baka ma-inspire ako. So, parang, the more characters were introduced, I was like, who are these people? No, wala pa. I think, wala pa sa kalahati. I remember texting you. Sabi ko, gusto ko na siyang i-DNF. I was bored. It's the only emotion I had. Boredom.
To be fair, ang pinakita lang kasi nila sa atin is not the height of Bob Dylan. I think that's the factor. Pinakita niya sa atin is yung early beginnings niya when he was struggling to show that folk music can have a different sound.
With that argument, it should have at least inspired viewers, I guess. Kasi you saw naman the struggles and all that. I don't know if hindi lang ako nag-empathize well or hindi lang napakita bakit siya ka-empathize. Kasi very ano rin siya eh, very douchebag din. Parang, pinapanood ko.
A sad boy. A sad
Yeah,
boy's life.
yes. Made it hard for me to root for him. Which I feel like if it's a biopic, especially if you're showing yun nga yung the beginnings to struggles, you would want to root for the character, for the main character at least. But this one, parang opposite yung nangyari.
It just goes to show din how different din talaga yung take ng mga tao dun sa I mean, we're talking about the film, di ba? Yung parang they have a different take about the music scene at the time, and Bob Dylan was really adamant to revolutionize it. In the same way, ganun din yung pelikula. Na parang it was trying to show that, but hindi niya tayo nabigyan ng pagkakataon na makita si Bob Dylan in a very endearing way. Parang at the same time, we were looking at him from the perspective of the critics.
So one more movie.
Yes.
Last but not the least, Emilia Perez. I don't even know how to summarize this film, but basically we follow the story of Emilia Perez, who is a transgender woman, former leader of a drug cartel. Apparently, this is a musical with no good music at all. Alam mo, yung biggest disappointment ko, I realized na yung one of the songwriters for this was Camille. As in, Camille of the Ratatouille theme song. Kasi nasa rotation ko siya, yung song na yon. Hindi ko na-ruin siya.
There are certain chords and harmonies, and there are certain ano din talaga that makes a song pleasant to the ear. And honestly talaga, Emilia Perez was really hard or difficult to watch kasi it's a different take on music as well. Not just ang dami na ngang genre pinasok. May trans na, may drug cartel, may action, may may musical. Parang yun pa lang ang komplikado na eh. Tapos papakinggan mo kami ng songs na hindi ganun ka melodic or kung melodic man ay hindi maganda yung lyrics.
I think I understand people when they say they hate musicals now. Because we both love musicals. But after watching this film, it made me realize, okay, I think I understand them when they say they don't like musicals. Because I cannot take the singing seriously. Pati yung music, even yung choreo, and yes, even yung lyrics, di ba? Meron dun parang from penis to vagina. Like, what the heck? It's trying to be a lot of things. Kasi the entire movie, even the storytelling, ganun din siya eh. Kasi I was very confused sa character development ni Emilia as a whole. Hindi ko na-gets bakit gusto niyang mag-transition. That's one. And then pangalawa, gusto niyang mag-transition into like being this like nice person na giving back. There was nothing to push her. Hindi ko nakita yung like flip ng switch. Yung
Yeah.
pag-switch niya. So, I didn't get that. Parang gulo-gulo ako while watching.
Sabi dito sa mga kababayan nating critics, it's trying to be cutting edge.
But it didn't make the cut.
Pero magtataka ka, no? Kasi it was listed in Best Films of 2024. It
Yeah,
received nominations.
exactly.
It drew a lot of, so parang mapapaisip ko, parang anong na-gaslight, na parang,
Yes,
ah,
correct. Parang, so, ako lang pala yung hindi naka-appreciate, ganon, di ba? Parang, kasi for me, parang it's such a waste kasi ang dami, yung themes would have been like good themes to cover na i-discuss ng movie-going public, right?
yeah, but not in that genre.
Yeah, not in that genre. Tapos parang hindi pa siya told correctly. Kasi apparently even the trans community are saying hindi siya na-capture accurately yung journey nila. Okay, and then sa Mexico nga, it's about the depiction of the drug cartel. Parang hindi rin daw siya like tama. Parang ginawa yatang cartoonish ng movie. Parang siyang hodgepodge of themes that are wasted opportunities. Lahat ng pwedeng mali nandito. But it still got the awards. It still got
Most
the recognition.
nominations on record.
Yes, so
Muntik nang tapatan yung Titanic.
nahiya po si Celine Dion.
There's one thing I like.
What?
Zoe.
Okay. To be fair, yeah.
Zoe Saldana was the saving grace of the film.
She hard carried this movie. To wrap it up, friends, if you were the Academy after all our discussion, what's your pick for best pick?
I would really give it to The Brutalist. It's how you use cinema.
For me, it's Conclave. I wouldn't change my answer. I feel like it was the overall package for best picture. But who are we? We're just two friends who like watching movies. I think that's it. Thanks so much, Fran. See you in the next.
Thank you. Yes.
Abangan siya. And that's it for our Oscars 2025 recap. What about you? What did you think deserved Best Picture? Share your thoughts in the comments, like, subscribe, and all that shebang. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye!